Joining us now, great to welcome a man who's written a book that's going to help us all maybe learn things a little quicker. It's called Micro Mastery. Learn small, learn fast, and unlock your potential to achieve anything. We're joined today by Robert Twigger. He's an author and adventure traveler and kind of an interesting guy. He's done a lot of things in his life. He lectures and he lives in London. So he joined us by telephone from overseas today. And Robert, good to talk with you. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on your show.
Yeah, good to have a chance to talk with you. I had an opportunity to read through the book, and I'm feeling motivated because I think, like a lot of people, you think, well, I'd like to learn something, but I just don't have the time. But you kind of say, hey, you don't have to be an expert in something to learn it, right?
That's right. I think that we're really easily put off thinking we need to spend 10,000 hours and really go into something and do a lot of boring courses. Actually, my insight was not just that you need to take things step by step, but that each step should be complete and satisfying in itself. And so, for example, in cookery, I got into making a perfect omelette as a kind of micro mastery of cooking. It's cooking itself. So it's something you could just do really easy. I mean, I make them for breakfast for my family, and then I've forgotten about it until the next day.
I think you bring up a point in the book, and just now you said it, people may have the impression, if they're not really good at something, they're going to have to spend months or even years to even be adequate at something, but you don't have to be. You can kind of, pick and choose, and if you don't like it right away, you can say, all right, I'm not good at it, but you can learn something, at least the basics of it, like you said, pretty quickly.
That's right. I mean, I for years thought I'm useless at art, and then I realized a lot of it were just self-imposed ideas I had about art. And really, once when I started looking at things and using materials I like to use, it was a lot easier. And I ended up doing the illustrations for this book. And so, you can get to quite an okay level at stuff. I mean, in another area, I actually attended a course for tone-deaf singing. I had that little confidence. So, it really is surprising when you put your mind to it.
I think today, it's so much information available to teach yourself, online, YouTube, or wherever you want to, look it up. It's much easier to get information to learn how to do things now than maybe it used to be. The library, of course, used to be there, but that would be more difficult. But now you can watch a video and learn something pretty quickly.
It's amazing, in fact. I mean, the only downside with YouTube is there is a lot of conflicting and actually useless stuff too.
Sure.
So what I aimed to do with the book was to provide some of the pointers and entry tricks which I got from experts, which will enable you to then go to video resources and YouTube and so on, and actually pick the ones that are good. And after a while, you get a kind of nose for the instruction that's kind of worthwhile and the one that's kind of rubbish. But at first, it can be a bit confusing, but I admit it's never been a better time in history, probably, to learn things.
Yeah, you mentioned just there, like the entry trick of learning something, and I guess that's really the door so many people maybe don't know how to get through. There's little tricks that kind of can open it for you, then you kick it open yourself after that. And finding that little entry trick is the key.
I found that out early on. I realized that when I talked to experts, they would have these closely guarded secrets that they weren't really that willing to share in normal circumstances. And these were often, they just seemed like cheating, and they were using them, and it immediately allows you to level up. And it's just an amazing boost to your confidence when you can sort of start something and immediately be at a new level without having to spend hours and hours practicing.
Well, you break it down into, I think you have 39 different skills, or micromastery central is what you call them, that you give examples of how to kind of get through that door with the entry trick. I thought a couple of them were interesting. What was the one here? Drawing. I'm not a very good drawer either, but you said you didn't really have that skill, but you kind of learned how to do it, right?
That's right. I mean, some people say they can't even draw a circle. So there's a Zen calligraphy technique used by those Zen monks in Japan where they practice doing endless circles with a brush pen, and it's quite therapeutic. I mean, if you're in the middle of a boring meeting or a class or something, you can practice doing those endless circles, and you really do learn. There are 3 entry tricks for that, which I give, so you'll immediately become better at doing something very basic, a circle. And if you can draw a circle and a square, you can pretty much draw. You're getting there.
I think another one you had there was getting up in front of people and talking on any topic for about 10 or 15 minutes. That scares most people.
It is, and you have to have gone out on stage in front of an audience to realize it's completely different. The view is completely different from up there. But this technique, yeah, you can use it, and I've used it, quite a few times. And it basically it comes from improv, but basically you just you relate what's in your head at that moment. So if you're freezing up, you just say, I'm freezing up. And if you say, I'm feeling extremely nervous, you tell them, I'm feeling extremely nervous. And that you can do that for about 5 minutes before the audience will start throwing things at you. And then after about another 5 minutes, you get them up on stage. You get a member of the audience on stage who knows something about the subject. And you can guarantee in any audience there will be someone who knows something about that subject, even if you don't. And you're very nice to them, and you introduce them and ask the audience to clap them, and that takes another 5 minutes. And then the final 5 minutes is when you just reverse the emotion. So if you've been very positive about, say, horse riding, you suddenly go, but you know what, I fell off a horse and now I hate horse riding. And you spend 5 minutes just reversing all the emotion of the previous 10 minutes. So, and then 15 minutes have gone by. It really is a foolproof method.
Well, one I'd never heard of. This is fascinating to me. And I know people don't really use a lot of film anymore in cameras, but you can develop film using coffee and salt. I never heard of that before. That was interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that's something, that's an internet thing I discovered. But yeah, you can use instant coffee, and soda crystals that you can just buy from any hardware store to clean the floor, supposedly. But that will actually work as a developer for a film.
Yeah, interesting.
So it's kind of a fun thing to do.
You have the others in there, juggling. You have the three-card Monte trick. I remember seeing those guys in New York. That's a fun one. Growing a bonsai tree. So many in there. And what do you hope, Robert, that the readers can get out of it? I guess inspiration is one of them, but what's your main goal for people in the book?
Well, the ultimate goal, which I'm hoping, is that as well as getting new skills, people get a different mindset, which is what I call a more pragmatic view, right. Which is the idea that life is about getting several or more than several interests, and it's when we have strong interests, life just seems much more pleasant, and we feel happier. And learning is one of those things that, we constantly complain time is passing us by really quickly, but when you learn things, it sort of slows time down. And I think that's part of my aim is to sort of help people enjoy their lives more, really, by doing this.
Yeah, good point. We're here. In some senses, people say it's a short time, but we're here for a long time. You might as well learn as much as you can, right? And enjoy it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Micro Mastery, Learn Small, Learn Fast, and Unlock Your Potential to Achieve Anything is the full title of the book. Robert Twigger has been our guest. Robert, do you have a website you can direct people to? I know they want to get more information on the book.
Yeah, so you want more information, my website's roberttwigger.com. The book itself is a Penguin Random House book. It's on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and all those big sites, and hopefully in local bookstores too. So should be quite easy to get. And
we'll also put a link on our website with the podcast of the interview as well. But Robert, great to talk with you. Hopefully we can do it again. And if you ever come to the States or come to Florida, we'd love to have you in person sometime. But thanks for being with us today.
Well, thank you. That's a kind offer. Thank you. I may take you up.
I'm Stan Brock. 30 years ago, I formed Remote Area Medical to help people overseas. But then we found generations of families in America isolated by poverty from the health care they need. Together, we can take dental, vision, and medical help to 1 million adults and their kids, right here at home in the United States of America.
If you'd like to order the book we're talking about, please go to DougMilesMedia.com and enter the author's name in the Amazon search box. Thank you for listening. Please come back soon for more conversations here at DougMilesMedia.com. This has been a presentation of Doug Miles Media, all rights reserved. You can listen to or download previous programs at iTunes, Stitcher.com, or DougMilesMedia.com.